Good morning, dear aspirants. Today's news. President urges restraint as crisis persists in Nepal. Comes under GS2 international relation. Massive youth-led protests have erupted across Nepal, initially sparked by the government ban on major social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube. What began as the opposition to perceived censorship has evolved into a border management demanding anti-corruption measures, government accountability, transparency, and comprehensive political reform. The situation has turned violent. Security forces opening fire on protesters and demonstrators, causing damage to government buildings, including parliament, presidential residence. President response call for dialogue and a constitutional solution. President Ramachandra Paul's appeal restrained from all parties, dialogue over confrontation, constitutional framework emphasized the need to work within established legal and constitutional mechanism to find sustainable solution. President Paudel asking for cooperation to maintain peace and order during this extremely difficult and unstable period in Nepal's political landscape. Understanding Generation Z, the digital native generation, birth years born roughly between 1997 and 2012, positioned after minimal and before generation alpha. Digital natives, first generation to grow up entirely with the internet access, smartphone and social media platform. Key characteristics: highly tech savvy, social and politically outspoken, prioritize climate change, equality and transparency. Distinctive protest characteristics are digital coordination, creative expansion, independent leadership, operating outside traditional political party structure with the grassroots organization, reform demands, pushing for interim government and nominating former Chief Justice Sushila Karek, top Maoists among 10 killed in Chhattisgarh. Comes under GS internal security, 1 crore bounty on Manoj Shet. 10 militants killed in this operation, 6 committee members eliminated this year. Union Home Minister Amit Shah praised the operation as major breakthrough in the fighting against left-wing terrorism. Understanding the India's Maoist challenge. 1967, Naxal Bari uprising peasant revolt in West Bengal under Charu Majumdar and Khanu Sanyal, inspired by Mao Zedong's ideology of struggle and peasant revolution. Movement fragmentation, split into multiple groups with a People's War Group and a Maoist under emerging as the most prominent. Cobra response, 2008, Commando Battalion for Resolute Action established specially to combat left-wing extremism through specialized guerrilla warfare tactics. Maoist ideology go through the Indian state through armed revolution, established people government following Marxism, Leninism and Maoism. India and Sri Lanka revisits Kachativu and Pak state disputes emphasizing cooperation, conservation and human approaches to resolve the fisheries crisis. Comes under GS international relation. 1974 Maritime Treaty. The India-Sri Lanka Maritime Boundary Treaty legally placed Kachativu Island in Sri Lanka waters. Bottom trawling ban. 2017 Sri Lanka banned that destructive bottom trawling. UNICLOS framework. UN Convention encourages cooperation in the semi-enclosed seas like Pak Bay, Gulf of Mannar, mandating joint resource management. Bottom trawling, it's a devastating ecological impact. Habitat destruction, overfishing crisis, bay catch problem, carbon release. Regulation in challenges in India. Marine Fishing Regulation Acts of coastal states attempt to regulate trawling through mesh size restriction, fishing zone and seasonal bans. However, enforcement remains challenging, particularly in the India-Sri Lanka Park Bay dispute, where Tamil Nadu trawlers frequently cross Sri Lanka. Historic maritime achievement Samudra Parikshada expedition. IASV Triveni. Crew composition 12 News 4. 12 highly trained women officers drawn from Indian Navy, Indian Army, Navy, Air Force responding the tri-service cooperation. 9-month expedition covering 26,000 nautical miles across all major oceans, including challenging southern waters. Please practice this mock question. Thank you.